Narcissists are often characterized by excessive self-confidence, a lack of empathy, and an absence of shame or guilt. Greetings everyone. Today, we're going to explore the concept of narcissism, a term that's evolved from Greek mythology to a significant psychological concept. We'll look at how it affects individuals and society, the fine line between healthy self-love and destructive self-obsession, and the impact it has on everything from personal relationships to societal norms. If you find this video interesting, please support us by hitting the like button. Now, let's get started. We often see and hear phrases such as, "Let's accept ourselves as we are. If you cannot love yourself, you cannot love others." How about you, everyone? Do you accept yourself as you are without hating yourself? I think there are some people who hate themselves and have lowered their self-esteem so much. Denying and devaluing yourself is not good. But overestimating yourself is also a problem. Both of these are not healthy mental states. But in fact, too much self-esteem is more problematic. Narcissists may appear to be mentally strong and confident, but this may not be the case. There are several types of narcissists, and those who are vulnerable. Narcissists are in a more unstable state of mind than those who are self-loving. This is because they are unable to look at themselves objectively, tend to self-evaluate themselves as being special, and love and perform their ideal self. Narcissism, used to mean self-absorption or conceit, is a psychoanalytic term. The term, narcissism, was first introduced by the German psychiatrist Havelock Ellis in 1898. Drawing from the Greek myth of Narcissus, who was so enamored with his own reflection that he drowned in the water while staring at it. Later, the term narcissism became widely used when Freud established it as a psychoanalytic concept. Simply put, we make ourselves the object of interest and attachment. In today's society, it is emphasized that we must first be able to love ourselves before we can love others. The acceptance of these phrases may reflect widespread emotional malaise in contemporary society. However, nothing should be taken too far. In this case, I should say that we should not run into distorted self-love. Unlike healthy narcissism, unhealthy narcissism can be a threat to individuals and society. Research from Queen's University suggests that narcissists tend to engage in risky behaviors, harbor an exaggerated sense of superiority, and exhibit excessive self-confidence, reduced empathy, and scant concern for shame or guilt. While these may seem like mere character flaws, they are recognized in psychological research, warranting a more nuanced understanding beyond common parlance. Narcissism is also considered one of the darker aspects of human nature, as is psychopathy, with its lack of empathy and guilt, antisocial personality, and Machiavellianism, which seeks to manipulate others in a cold-hearted manner. For example, Narcissist A, who has an excellent ability to form a herd around himself, and is always the leader of the group, whether at school or at work, may enjoy this while controlling and manipulating others in the herd. Unable to tolerate opposition or negativity, he may become enraged and cleverly bully those who disagree with him. Although at first glance he may appear assertive, with leadership and charisma. A is a classic narcissist. While he or she values his or her own abilities and accomplishments on the agenda, he or she may look down on others, wear down those around him or her as a compliment to him or her, while cutting off relationships when they are no longer of use, and intentionally undermine or diminish the feelings and values of others. I am sure you have all experienced this at least once. People who are around narcissists are psychologically manipulated by them, and feel trapped, helpless, and have their self-esteem diminished, because they feel it is all their fault. Even one narcissist in a community can make that community sick. This is why group living suffers wherever it is decided. In fact, the damage caused by narcissism can be seen in many areas throughout society. One example is that children can suffer from adolescent depression, often because their parents are narcissists. This is said to be a serious social problem that needs to be looked at. Furthermore, it is said that narcissism can explain not only bullying and parent-child relationships, but also gender relations and power harassment issues in the workplace, if looked at broadly. When narcissism develops without self-awareness, It can lead to narcissistic personality disorder. Narcissistic personality disorder is a personality disorder characterized by a pervasive pattern of grandiosity, desire for admiration, and lack of empathy. It is characterized by narcissism, a tendency to deceive and take advantage of others, a preference for controlling others, self-centered thinking and behavior, excessive self-esteem, a constant need for recognition from others, and sensitivity to criticism and negativity. These characteristics often cause trouble in interpersonal and romantic relationships. And they also manifest themselves in the pursuit of ability, wealth, and a high sense of beauty. Self-proclaimed success gurus who assert that their methods guarantee success may be displaying narcissistic tendencies. Of course, not all people are like that. It is not those who maintain success and development, but those who, after tasting short-term, one-off success, inflate their own myth of success and sell this as know-how for a high price. Narcissism can often serve as a defensive mechanism to shield oneself from the perceived humiliation associated with inferiority complexes. So what are the underlying reasons for this to happen? Just as many factors intertwine and influence psychodynamic changes, in the case of narcissism, there are many factors such as upbringing, genetics, biology, and so on. But the most significant of these factors is the nurturing factor, i.e., the environment of childhood upbringing. Such factors may involve caregivers interacting with the child in ways that hinder the development of a stable self-image, or the child experiencing improper communication and education, such as excessive criticism, psychological abuse, or, on the other end of the spectrum, overindulgence. In addition, if a person experiences multiple setbacks during the growth process, or, conversely, grows up in an environment where there are no setbacks or adversities at all, excessive self-preservation and a sense of selfish privilege take root, which can develop into narcissism and, if severe, narcissistic personality disorder. Since they struggle to self-reflect objectively and critically, they often blame others for problems, making such issues challenging to address or treat. Because they believe themselves to be perfect and special, they cannot admit that they need help or treatment. However, this is actually also a defense reaction to shame, not wanting to expose themselves, which they do not want to admit, and not having the confidence to face their ugly inner selves. Conversely, Dr. Costas, a psychology professor at Queen's University, Belfast, suggests that narcissism might have individual benefits, as evidenced by a study involving 700 adults. Dr. Costas states that high narcissism and self-confidence serve to protect oneself from stress. In a sense, they have a mentality of steel, because they do not blame themselves for failures or mistakes. Therefore, some studies suggest that a number of successful individuals exhibit narcissistic traits. This is narcissism in a positive sense. Such individuals often create a positive first impression, particularly in job interviews, where these traits can be mistaken for advantages, potentially leading to more prestigious employment opportunities compared to others. An excessively narcissistic individual, one who feels overly entitled and justifies harming others, can end up isolated and disliked. While confidence and self-love are positive traits, it's important to reflect on whether these qualities are being used to justify harmful behavior towards others or to distance oneself from them. This discussion sheds light on the darker aspects of narcissism, which go beyond mere self-appreciation and venture into self-obsession that can be harmful to oneself and others. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more insightful content. Take care and see you in the next video. Goodbye.